want to talk about an update for my business. If you've been following me for a while, you've probably noticed that over time I have changed the manufacturer of my charms and the material it's made out of. This is one of my first generation charms. You can see here that the artwork was not protected on one side, but it was protected on the front. Over time, I came to find out that you can actually make charms that have acrylic on both sides, which protect the artwork. Once I figured out you could do that, I decided to produce all my charms with that material because it kept my artwork more safe and it made the product look shinier. Gotta remove this film. Here you can now see that there is an acrylic piece on both sides of the charm, opposed to just one side. You can really see the difference here because you can see a texture. Well, anyways, recently I discovered a new type of material I can print on that I would like to start turning all my charms into, which is this rounded acrylic. It looks super smooth and super nice, and it feels really nice in your hand because all of the edges are actually sanded down. But this is still acrylic material. May have seen like a similar effect to this in the past with other people's charms, but more than likely those were epoxy. This is a new type of material and a new type of technique that just recently came out. The difference between this and epoxy is this is way more expensive to make because it's like they have to sand down the edges versus just like using the epoxy material to place on top of the acrylic charm. But the benefits is that this does not yellow over time. Here's an example of a epoxy charm I had, and you can see here that the illustration has yellowed over time. This happens to all epoxy charms, no matter what. It's just the material starts to turn yellow. This is why I've not made epoxy charms in the past. On a white background, you can definitely see it more apparent how there's kind of like a yellow cast on this charm versus this one, which is clear. And that's what makes this new material so impressive. New technique rather. So I made the conclusion that I would like to produce all of my charms in this material. Even though it's more expensive, I still have always just liked to make sure I can make the best product possible. So I will be switching all my future charms to this rounded material because it looks so much nicer. That being said, that means for this Black Friday, I'm going to be having all of my regular acrylic charms, my normal stock, on sale for 50% off because I really need to clear out my inventory to make space for this new material I'd like to try out for my charms. So I just wanted to give you guys a notice in advance that I'm going to be having a pretty big sale this Black Friday. I just think these a rounded acrylic just looks so much better and like a higher quality product. But what do you guys think?